Man, now that I've used VR, I wish everything was in VR.
Let's get into it.
So Kevin, today is the day that you are getting, the day that this video posts, you are getting your Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Very.
And I think you're a lot more biased than I am when I say this question because you put some money into it.
Mm-hmm.
Is VR going to be a flash in the pan? Now, we've talked about it in the past, but never in a more condensed format. What do you think?
I don't think it will be.
Why?
Mainly because of how different and complete it feels. So, a lot of those kind of gimmicky things, like, they feel different, but they feel like a gimmick.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, VR, when you put on a headset, like, you think of all the things you could do, like, in VR, and, like, you know, what things you would like to experience in VR and that type of stuff.
Right.
And I think in general, we're just kind of moving more towards that way. Like, 3D movies, like, have very slowly picked up popularity, but, like, the real 3D stuff, like, that's sticking around.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And, yeah, so I think, you know, the general populace is getting kind of more used to, you know, not just looking at flat images and stuff, and that's where I think VR is really going to come in. And, you know, one of the best reasons it's going to stick around for a long time is that Oculus and HTC, Steam, like, they put so much work into making sure that they have good products
Yeah.
that they're putting in the consumer's hands.
Slightly different products too, which is nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're just making sure they're good so that nobody feels like bad about their purchase ever.
Yeah, because you don't want people having bad experiences with it and then they'll never want to use it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, full disclosure, I actually, aside from that little gag at the beginning, I've never used one yet. So honestly, I'm a little less sold on it than you are. I think it's interesting, but from what I've seen, I mean, maybe, I feel like it's being poised incorrectly. I feel like, for the most part, people are like, oh, the games you can play with it. I really don't think it's gonna find its legs in the future with games.
Yeah.
I think it will provide experiences better, but I don't know. I personally think games is cutting it a little short. And I think there's so much more that you could do with the device. Say, oh, you can play games with it. Like, that's awesome. But you can also go to Mars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's on such a bigger level than that. And I really hope that, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen with this generation of VR headsets. But I'm hoping 20 years down the road that that's kind of what, well, I guess I'm hoping that, and I'm also scared of that a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of a potentially scary future. But, so I hope that it branches out to more than just video games because there are so many more applications that it could have. Like, if you want to go see Beyonce or whatever, right? None of them big Beyonce fan, but Queen Bey, you're up there, you're doing what you do. You can do that. You know what I mean? Even if you're all the way across the world, like, and streaming services will get better, and these things will get better, that to the point where you can do that and feel like you're actually there, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely is. Like, you know, with the expanding out thing, like, I think we've seen that with AR, augmented reality, where it's, you know, interweaving images with what you're seeing in the real world. You know, that stuff's just almost completely moved away from video games now.
Yeah.
Like, I think Xbox is still planning the Minecraft AR thing for HoloLens whenever it comes out, but
yeah,
they're moving more towards business type solutions and stuff like that. And, you know, I think that's kind of where VR and AR kind of overlap is, you know, they can expand to more experiences and kind of really let you live in a world that's not your own.
Well, I mean, I think part of the problem is we just think of it in our own echo chamber of, oh, but everyone plays games. More people are playing games, yes. Not everyone plays games. Let's just think about console games, because mobile games are a bit of a different market, I think, because everyone has a phone. But let's just think about console games. So the people that are willing to spend, you know, $500 or so for a dedicated gaming device, realistically right now, for the past, 3 years that those the new consoles have been out?
Yeah.
Between the two of them, less than 80 million. You know what I mean? Like, an iPhone would trounce that. So,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
there are certainly, yes, a lot of people are doing it, and console gaming is stronger than it's ever been. But, you know what I mean? There's not those people that are, there's not as many people as you think, but we just think that because we're in the echo chamber of course I play games, of course you play games, all my friends play games. Well, that doesn't mean everybody does.
So from that question, do you think that VR will actually expand the amount of gamers there are? If VR is going to introduce people to the gaming world just by its existence? Because I think like mobile phones did, consoles definitely did, arcades did.
I absolutely think so, but what I think is the way they're going to be sneaky about it, they're not going to call them games. Because you talk to your grandmother who plays games on Facebook or plays Candy Crush on her phone. No, I don't play video games. I just do my phone. You know what I mean? They don't call it that because there's a bit of a stigma associated with video games.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a while before we get away from that thing. I mean, I think it's getting better. It's becoming more accepted. But there are certainly some people that are like, oh, you play video games? You're a nerd or whatever. Like, that's certainly going away. I mean, Frank, the most subscribed person on YouTube plays video games.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's definitely becoming more of a thing. But I think if we're going to move to that of bringing more people on through VR experiences, I think they're going to be called more experiences rather than games. I think it's a more interesting title.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And yeah, just about like games being like this taboo kind of word for like, you know, something nerdy. It's kind of weird because like solitaire is a game, checker is a game, and everybody knows that, and everybody's played those games and that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
you know, there's still this very big distinction in people's minds about, you know, what's normal and what's nerdy.
Right.
And yeah, I expect that to fall down, but I kind of wonder if VR is going to live in that kind of other space where it's like even nerdier than video games.
It very well may. I honestly, I don't know. I think the fact that you're kind of detached from everyone else will be a big detractor for a lot of people. And I think that's maybe a good thing.
Well, yes,
maybe,
but it also has this interesting side effect is that some of the most popular experiences we're seeing on the Samsung Gear VR right now is actually social experiences.
Oh, really?
Where you're in like a shared location with other people connected online. Yeah. And, you know, generally as we're kind of socially more connected online than we used to be, yeah, they kind of go hand in hand, right? Where, you know, VR is best for social experiences and people are preferring social experiences. So we might see a big uptake on that. Again,
you're looking at it in a very positive way, but that still scares me. Because then you don't have to leave your house to have your friends around, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, like I can sit on the couch right now and play Broforce with like 5 different guys around and we can have a good time. But we may reach a point where I'm having the time of my life hanging out with all my friends, not leaving my room, staring directly at a screen. That's scary. I mean, maybe we're at that for some people, but it's going to get even worse with the headset. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big old man, and I'm just like, get away from me, technology. But it freaks me out a little bit, to be honest.
It's not the first time these thoughts have been kind of had. You know, a very, very famous one is WALL-E.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about, right?
And they're just stuck on the chairs with like this monitor in front of them. They don't move.
Yeah, so
you can definitely take that sort of dystopian type future. It's not even dystopian. It's this weird mix between like the dystopian Star Trek future, where everything's perfect but everything's terrible at the same time.
Yeah, so I mean,
VR is just one step there.
I certainly hope that isn't where it goes, but it is very interesting technology, and I think there are much broader applications that people a lot smarter than myself will come up with. I hope.
Yeah, and hopefully some big implications for, you know, kind of where our society kind of heads in the future.
Yeah. Can be cool. Plus VR porn. I mean, come on.
Oh, I'm so excited.